Dexter Lawrence, the Giants' defensive tackle, good player. He's good last year, good young player, jumped off sides on a 48-yard field goal attempt by Dustin Hopkins.
That he missed.
The penalty gave him another shot to win the game, and on an untimed down, Hopkins nailed a 43-yard field goal, and they won 30-29. Washington did. So, and by the way, Key, that second kick looked very similar to the first one, only 5 yards out, maybe a little better, and 5 yards closer. So I get, Key, Joe Judge not putting it on Dexter Lawrence there because that's a boneheaded thing, but it's like one isolate. Cost him the game. No way around that. That cost him the game, right?
Well,
they win if he doesn't do that.
Several things in the game cost him a game. That one happened to be the last one.
Yeah.
But if
it
Darius
didn't affect the play, and they won the game.
Darius Slayton catch the touchdown, the game's over.
You're up 10 with 6 minutes left to go.
It's a wrap.
It's game
But
over.
there are higher and lower leverage situations. At the end of the game, when you got the lead.
Dropped the ball, man. That ain't got nothing to do with no damn coaching staff and no general manager. The coach, Jason Garrett, dialed it up, and your guy, as you call him, Danny Nichols, delivered it. What did everybody got to say now?
Can I just tell you something?
Leave that dude alone.
I know Darius Slayton played a good game. Sterling Shepard played a good game. And we could talk about Kenny Galladay, Kenny G later, and that whole rift between him and Daniel Jones. But, you know, it's interesting. Before this week, I think there were a lot of people in that locker room looking at Daniel Jones and be like, man, you better get your stuff together, man.
He got it together, though.
Because I'm going to say the right thing in the media. I'm going to play that game, but you better get it together. If I'm Daniel Jones this morning, I'm looking at my team like, okay, make that catch, man.
Well, he need to just keep playing.
He don't keep playing, but I'm still.
He don't need to look at nobody. He just needs to play.
I'm not saying you say it to him, but you're looking at your team saying.
Today I got no criticisms for Daniel Jones. My late, great brother Sam used to say, the time to criticize the fat dude is not when he's getting back from the gym with the sweaty wristbands. Don't criticize him then. He just went to the gym. He's having his egg whites and stuff. Like, leave him alone on that. Daniel Jones, I'm not talking about him today. He played well. That he played well enough to win, certainly. He made big plays. But, of course, on that play, Key, you know what I'm thinking. I once talked to a wide receiver, played a while in the NFL, Jay, who told me, I'm trying to remember who he was, that when you are wide open and the ball's in the air. Do you remember who that dude was?
Number 19?
Like a week ago, Key, you were talking about this. Was earlier this week, you were talking about how it's in a way the hardest ball, right? Like to some dudes, when it's in the air, you're wide open. Take us through it.
Yeah, it's a bad deal.
All those lights on you too, Key.
Oh, man, I just felt bad for him. And I felt, when I was watching it, I just felt that he was getting ready to drop it. I swear I did. I was like,
me too, because of you. I blame you.
He ain't going to catch it. I could just tell how he was running. He was running like, he was running nervous. He didn't look smooth and relaxed. He looked tense in doing it.
That's
He came open on the post route. He closed the cushion. He gave him the outside nod. He went skinny like he should have. Daniel Jones put it where he should have, led him to the front part of the goalpost, and it just didn't finish the deal.
You say he ran nervous. You just said he did all the things he
right
was.
Here, see, look. He looked nervous.
Yeah.
He just looked nervous, and it was one of those deals where it was coming up on him so fast that he couldn't make the necessary adjustment. So when you start looking at things like that, that's not on the coaching staff, man.
Well,
that's on the player.
I have my hand raised. I'm in between. I'm with Key on the coaching staff. I think Jason Garrett actually called a decent game. I give him credit for calling it. I mean, that opening drive, he was extremely creative, right? In the opening drive. The thing that kind of brought me back, it's almost like having PTSD to a degree,
yes.
Right? And it's like you're watching all of it happen, and you're like, oh, this is okay. And then that last drive, man, after Bradbury gets that interception.
Who had a bad game. Bradbury's getting lit up, but then he came through. All is forgiven. You come through on that play.
It just seems like, Max, when you get back to that really adverse moment as a fan, and you're like, all right, Jason Garrett, let's be creative here.
Question.
Run, first down. Second down, run. Third down, pass. I'm like, I'm just going to settle for the field goal.
Not only run, pass, but, Jay, up the gut.
Gut.
Right into the teeth of the defense. Key, this is the question. I see that.
But they was making hay going when they were running their counter plays. They were getting hay. They was getting 4, 5, 6 yards a pop when they were running right up the gut. When they ran the ball up the gut, they were getting, it wasn't like they was getting stuffed.
Okay, that aside, you were clowning him. I was, Jay was. What were you saying all week about Jason Garrett? Run, pass.
Yeah,
okay.
Run, pass.
So now the game's on the line.
Run, pass.
Here's the question. Key, here's the question. Game's on the line. I give Jason Garrett credit. Jay did, you did. Much better play calling throughout the game, right? He did a good job. Is that on Garrett, or is that Joe Judge at that moment of the game? Who takes responsibility for those play calls at that point in the game? They come away with a field goal instead of a touchdown.
It just depends. Coach, it depends. Coach could tell him, Joe Judge could tell him, we got 3. He could just tell him, say, hey, we got 3. Let's just take the points. Or if we don't get what we're looking for, take the points. It just depends on what their communication is. Sometimes the head coaches will veto and overrule certain situations, and the offensive coordinators will be real vanilla, and sometimes the head coach will say, be aggressive here. It just depends.
I'd rather be the latter.
Yeah.
Be aggressive. I'd rather be aggressive. Especially when I see Daniel Jones rush for 95 yards.
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive.
But
roll him out of the pocket.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.